something. Everybody that's on your table, they're there for a different reason. Heck, you've got something. You've got something. And you guys are little massage snobs and you all go have a massage. We go get a massage and she comes out. Yeah, you know who you are. But I was just gonna get it. But there is just something about getting the word out and letting people know it's okay to have your something. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. All of us here, you threw your something in a big old bowl in the middle. You threw your something, whatever it is that you feel that's challenging you right now. You throw it in with everybody else's. You look, you see yours next to theirs, you take yours back. You would take yours back and go, I had no idea. You never know what someone else is going through. So always remember to be kind. Always remember to be kind, because you never know. So I say thank you, and I know that you all have also submitted questions. And I know they're going to put some of the questions up, because I wish you could just stand up. I love the one-on-one interaction, but they have some questions that they're going to put up right now. And I'm vamping while they put up the questions. So I go, here we go. It's weird, I'm interviewing myself. You know? Like I feel like Sybil all of a sudden. You have interviewed many world leaders, celebrities, and change makers. Of which interview are you most proud? Huh. You know which one? Who? Which one? Yes, it is. President Obama. But I want to guess. Very good. There's no gift or prize that you get for knowing the answer. I rarely tell this story. I'm going to tell that one as well, because interviewing Barack Obama when he changed his stance on marriage equality was just amazing. Absolutely amazing. But the first interview that meant so much to me, it was just crazy. It was 1991, the U.S. Open tennis. This guy named Jimmy Connors, okay? He's considered an old guy. He was 38, but he was like, oh, he's considered old and over the hill. He made it all the way to the semifinals. I mean, he's just pumping and all this, and everyone, he needed some massages. I tell you, he's living through. I'm working at ESPN at the time. I'd only been there about a year or so. I'm still like trying to make my way there. And my bosses said during his run, they said, we want you to do a Sunday conversation with Jimmy Connors. I'm like, everybody wants to talk to Jimmy Connors. How am I going to get it? We're not even a network covering the U.S. Open. It's another network. I befriended his athletic trainer and other people inside his camp. And when the run was over, after he lost to Jim Courier in the semifinals, his camp said, you set up your camera over there. Now there's everybody's the world's president. They said, you set yours up, we're going to deliver him to you. He's going to be the only one. You're going to be the only one that he talks to. So we set up and everything. And Jimbo, and he comes all in and he's all puffing and puffing. And CBS at the time was broadcasting and other people. He flew right past him and sat down with little old me. And I can't even remember what he said or what I said. I said, how do you feel? But it was so important that it was the big get of the moment, and I was able to do that. So that meant so much in 1991. And he was a gentleman. He was really cool. Fast forward, 2012. Now, I had just been diagnosed with myelodysplastic syndrome. Because of my treatment for cancer, I received the second condition, myelodysplastic syndrome, MDS. At one time was known as pre-leukemia. It's a blood and bone marrow disorder. So I was diagnosed with that in 2012, but I hadn't told everybody yet. Very few people, because I didn't want the tilt of the head and being treated differently, and I was still learning so much about it, which, as Bill introduced earlier, the Be the Match people have been my savior, and I was able to get their message out as well. So I was the Be the Match family. So no one knows this, and I'm at with Amber and my sisters. And I was told at the time that it was very dire, that the chances of my surviving was very slim. Now, no one had known this at the office, and I had my phone off. We get out of that long doctor's appointment, turn on my phone, everyone's trying to reach me, including the president of ABC News, Ben Sherwood. Now, they don't know that I just came from this appointment. And I called him back and said, hey, Ben, what's up? He goes, the president wants to talk to you tomorrow at the White House. And he's going through whatever. I said to the president of ABC News, can I call you back? So the next day, I do go to the White House and sit across from Barack Obama, and I asked him the question, had he changed his stance on marriage equality, and he said he had. It was a moment I will never forget, and I have a producer who is always there at my interviews, and is always off to the side and has these blue cards, and will put like timing on, like you have 5 minutes left, or little notes on of some sort, and be right off the camera side. And so the president says this, and I'm thinking in my mind, man, this is going to make worldwide headlines, because we weren't sure if he was going to say that. And she's scribbling on a little note, and she puts it up, and I think she's going to say, you rock, historic. You know what that note said? Lipstick on teeth.
Oh my God!
Lipstick on teeth. And that made me think of my dear mom, when you strut, you stumble. When you strut, when you think you're all that. And I was like, so we worked it out. So memorable for a number of reasons.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
Next question. You often talk about using a holistic approach to health and wellness. How does massage therapy fit into your wellness regime? I think I touched upon this a little bit. In fact, I have one on Sunday. I do it on a regular basis. It is something that I really learned. It was difficult with the bone marrow transplant because my immune system was compromised and my platelets were very low. And it really helped me actually know during the course of all this when my platelets were low, because when I would have my massage and I would be not a little more bruised when I normally would not be, it was a way of signaling to me that something was wrong. And I've heard this over and over. Who better? I mean, we're plumb naked when we're you see every inch of our body. You know what is there, what should be there, what should not be there. And I've heard countless times that you are able to, and many people have credited massage therapists for finding something that they can then take to their doctor. I would say my regime during the time, especially with breast cancer, was very regular. And it was primarily because of the depression that really helped me get through it. And it's very much a part of what I do to this day. Sunday was the last time. All right, what's the next question? Hurt me. A panel of Olympic athletes to help benefits of massage later this week at the AMTA National Convention. That we have some Olympians here. I mean, as a former college athlete, what was your favorite story to come out of the Summer Olympics in Rio? How much did you love the Summer Games? Oh my God. Oh gosh. Simone Biles was my all-time favorite story. What gymnasts are able to do is just incredible. The entire USA swim team.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go the whole team. The whole team. The whole team. But those are my favorites. The swim team. And then the U.S. women's basketball team to bring up the gold again. I gotta tell you, it was really something to see, and the fact that you're going to have Bonnie Blair, who I've known for years and is from the area, to have her address you, to have other Olympians that are going to address you. I hope that you feel the immense love and appreciation that I and so many others that we have for the work that you do. And continue to put yourself in position for good things to happen. Be willing to make the necessary sacrifices. Focus on the solution, not the problem to those things that you are facing. Lastly, in the couple minutes I have left, I just wanted, where are the Be the Match folks? Up there? You couldn't get a better seat. What are you Thank you for allowing me to share your message, to let people know that if you can find it in your heart to be on the registry with these people and other bone marrow registries, you can give the gift of life. People feel that if you have a sibling, which I am blessed to have 3, that they'll be a perfect match. And they taught me, and I have taught others, that only happens 30% of the time. Well, you guys can sit down now. That only happens 30% of the time, which means 70% of the time you need someone on the registry to save your life. Two of my siblings were not a match at all. One sibling initially came back as a possibility. I went to my mother because we had already gone on the registry and found that there wasn't a match for me. So I needed my sister Sally Ann to be that match. And there was more testing that was done, and I went to my mother, and my mother and father had been married for 57 years. My father passed in 2004. He was a Tuskegee Airman. They were this beautiful couple. And this was beautiful. And sweethearts, they met at Howard University. So I go to my mom, and I said, Mom, there's only one chance that Sally Ann could be the match, and Butch and Dorothy are not, and there's no one on the registry, and I need to ask you this question, Mom. Does Daddy have any little kids out there? Mercy, no. I said, hey, you fight for your life. Luckily, my sister Sally Ann was a perfect match, and I remember when I got the call that she was, I asked her, because there are many times, not many times, but sometimes people will put themselves on the registry, and there'll be many years that pass. They get the call, and for whatever reason, they change their minds. And we always encourage them to talk to your doctors, talk to the registry. If you have these fears, hopefully we can answer them, but it's your right. And so I asked my sister Sally Ann, I said, is this something that you want to do? You are a perfect match. And she said after a long pause, she said, Sister dear, it's not only something that I want to do, it's something that I feel that I was born to do. So you